Hey everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den, episode number 147, and today is January 14. My name's Denise. I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. I'm thinking off the top of my head right now. I have this little piece of fluff that's kind of distracting me. Forgot the word even. Yeah, she's sitting on the desk. I'm actually, this week, I'm still in the bedroom, but I'm sitting at my desk, and I'll tell you about that in a second, because I might actually put her down, because as I said, she's a bit of a distraction. So, welcome. Oh, okay, Bindi, you need to go down. Do you want to say hi and then go lie on the floor? See, I'm a bit further away from the bottom of the bed, so she can't reach me from there. But I'm going to put you down, and you can go find a spot to sleep on. Ugh, you've got hairs everywhere on me. Go on. Okay. She's going to go lie down. Oops. All right, tossing my head off. So, all right, I'm at my desk. It's usually over there in the corner, but this week I had a nice good clean around in the bedroom, and I've repositioned the desk right in front of the window, and that's going to make it easier. I thought it would be a nice place because I can just pull it out a little and set the camera behind it. That way I have everything on the desk and I don't have to keep turning around and around. But this little thing wants up again. Come here then, Bindi. Come here, I can't pick you up that way. You want round? Come here. Come here. Alright. I don't want to put you on the desk. You're going to sit on my notebook. Alright, for our first time viewers, welcome. If you are checking out the podcast for the first time, I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy watching it and come back and watch more. And, oh, don't you dare! And I hope you join the Ravelry group if you haven't done so already. Bindi, I'll just put you down so you can't see. She can see the workmen, the guys on the house next door, on the deck that they're building. And if you bark, I'm putting you down. Thank you. So, yes. Oh gosh, Bindi, this is not going to work. I want to welcome, a special welcome to those that did leave an introduction in the Ravelry group. I'm going to put you down. I want to say hi to Pink Perler, who is Diane, and she's in the northwest of England. Say hello to Diane. And I want to say hi to Deborah, who is Deborah, just spelt it a little bit differently on your Ravelry name, and you're in Missouri, so hi Deborah. And to Diana61, I knew there was a Diana in here somewhere, who is Diana, and she's in Sweden, and she's married to an Englishman. So, hi, Diana. Let's see. I think I've said who I am. Welcome back to everyone else. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss you guys out. All of you regulars and my friends, thanks for tuning in again. I did record a bit later than usual last week, Friday. So the good thing about that is you didn't have to wait a whole week to sit down with me again. I usually record on a Tuesday, but it seems to be happening on a Wednesday just as frequently these days. And you're heavy already. So, yeah, I would like to pick up my tea. So I'm going to try and put you down again, and I'll ignore you if you try to get up, okay? Alright. Go lie down. Go in your bed. I shouldn't have worn black. Go in your bed. If I say that, she might just go lie down. Go in your bed. Okay. Oh, this is kind of nice. I can put my elbows on the table. Try not to chop my head off. Or sit back. I don't know. Okay. I'm waffling. I haven't had a sip yet because I think it's a bit too hot. It's still a bit hot. I have a cup of tea. What's in your mug? Talia always asks. From the Pen Hook Needles podcast, if you haven't seen it. And I'm sorry, I do forget to link to especially the podcasts I mentioned. I know a couple of you had got in touch, or you leave a message in the Ravelry group and ask. So if I forget again, then just ask in the Ravelry group. If it's not me, somebody else sometimes will jump in there and let you know what the links are. Don't know where she's gone now. So, Talia, I am drinking, I fetched a box of lemon zinger. I've had my coffee this morning. The tea bag is still in here because I do like them kind of strong. I tend not to take the tea bag out, but sorry, I've never done that before. If Kimmy and Sam are watching, that wasn't a very good one, was it? Anyway, that's what I'm drinking right now, and I'll show you some other stuff later. Okay, look at your notes. Still on to thank yous. Thanks for, I hope I'm not too washed out with the lighting. I am waffling, isn't I? Thank you for leaving comments and sending messages after last week's episode. I really appreciate it. You know, I love to hear from you. And I want to thank Diane and Nancy, who left comments in the thread last week. Just thank you for your encouragement about after I mentioned I'm going to try and not eat meat. It was just nice to hear from some that are already trying that as well. Not eating meat is, I think, is going to be easy. It's the dairy that I think might be a little bit of a problem. And Nancy, you suggested trying organic cheese, milk, etc. for a while, or first. And I do. I have often tried to buy the organic cheese, and I do have organic milk all the time, but I am trying different brands of almond milk as well. So, but I just want to say thank you to you two ladies as well. A quick week in review from my notes. Oh yeah, here's my notes. I need to make notes. This is what my notes say. I need to make notes because I forget, for instance, what the weather has been like since I last said hi and recorded. There's still snow thereabouts, but mostly clear. It's sunny today. It was very overcast yesterday, which looked very strange. It's cold, but it would be nice if I could kind of specifically say, oh, on Saturday we got snow, because honestly I can't even remember. Can't remember when it was. So that would be nice if I made some notes, like my notes tell me. And just other things too, because I never know what I've done from one day to the next. So with that said, that's all I've got written down on those notes, and I'm going to jump into works in progress. And I do not have a Kit Kat. I do not have any shortbread. Totally none left in the house at all. And I'm going to have to start hiding the Kit Kats, because at the beginning of the week there was quite a few in the biscuit barrel. So I think hubby eats as many as me, and so I'm going to start hiding some. So at least I have one to sit down and have a cuppa with you guys. So no finished objects this week. And one of the things I've just jotted down here is I'm not going to add some of the titles along the bottom like I sometimes do. You know, like what's in the den, what left the den, book talk. That way I think it will be quicker to edit and not have to do much editing, and I'll be able to get it uploaded to YouTube faster. It does take a while if I have to sit and look and listen and then split the video, and then, or sometimes split the video if I need to miss stuff out, but find the spot where I mention, oh, it's works in progress next, and I have to pause it and I have to add the caption and all that. It does take a little bit longer. So I think it's not that necessary right now. So I'm going to just try and not do that. So with that, no finished objects, and I didn't feel like I worked on much this past week. So what I've done, because I have this desk, oh yeah, she's in there. I've brought out everything that's kind of recent that I am trying to give a little love to each week. So I think I'll start off with, I totally forgot to bring it up, I'm going to have to pause. I will not start with that. I was going to start with the Lawrence sweater, but that's going to run into the knit along news, so I'll go grab that in a minute. So what I did do on my desk, because if you want to see, this is my desk. Hold on, I was going to show you, hang on. Okay, I flipped the camera around. Well, actually I'm holding it now as well. So you can see the view today. Lovely blue sky. Bit of snow still on the rooftop, and you can see snow. But you can see lots of well, dead grass. I mean, it's all dead quite now. It's winter. This is where the desk used to be, in that little corner, and that's the house that Bindi was barking at, because there was people on, or there is people on this, the deck. And there's the rest of the windows. So I am sitting at the desk that used to be there, which is now positioned there. I'm sorry if I'm making you a little bit queasy with all the moving around. And so here's all my bags that I'm going to show you. I thought I would go through them and see where we're at. Okay, I also had to let Bindi out and put her downstairs, so she's no longer here in the bedroom. All right. So I'll go grab the sweater in a minute. One of the things, I'll show you the most recent, I was casting on the Hermione socks with some, I'm out of breath, creamy coloured Barocco folio. And I have 2 balls because I was casting on 2 at a time. And I must admit, it is really, really tricky and fiddly to get the 2 at a time socks on magic loops started. But this is all I've done. And I've worked on these quite a lot. And this is all I've got done. And I feel like my stitches are just very uneven. But that's just the way this is knitting up on really thin needles. I'm using size 1s, and I think I feel as if it's knitting slower because the last pair I knit were the sport weight socks, and they seem to knit up a lot faster. So that's all I've got done on these, and because of the light they look very, very bright and white. You know, the sun is just glaring on them. I've just finished the rib and done 1 round. That's about it. And so I'm going to start the Hermione pattern next. And it is easier now, but I don't know, it just felt really fiddly this week. So I think these are going to take a little bit longer than, you know, knitting the sport weight socks. Now, one thing I never do, and I should, and I'm sorry about this, is, I don't even know if I've started this in my projects. Hold on. Oh dear, dear. Oh yes, I have. No. See, I haven't even said I've started it. I need to do this as well. Need to write down or add a new project every time I add a project in my Ravelry page. What I always forget to do is give you all of the information, and I'm sure you may know, but I just think it's nice if I was to remember to give the designer a shout out and say their name. Not that they watch this podcast, but so the Hermione's Everyday Socks, it's free on Ravelry, and it's by Erica. And now I don't even know how to say the name. Lueder, L-U-E-D-E-R. Erica. Sorry. Now here's a pair of socks in the cream colour. Somebody's picture on there, and I'm hoping, I'll try not get the can't avoid the glare actually. I'm hoping mine turn out something like that. Quite, you know, little, just pretty like that. There's Bingy barking. So yeah, not got much done on them. They are sitting in my knot bag. So I brought those. I did work on those. Let's see what else is in the bags. Sometimes nothing. Okay, in my Knitting's My Bag, I thought I would go through the bags. Somebody suggested on Instagram, just yesterday I think I saw it, that Ravelry should have a page for you to list all of your project bags. Thought Hubby was trying to get in the door downstairs. Just like you list your stash and you list your projects, and you list fibre and stuff like that, they should have a place to list your bags, which I thought was a great idea. So in my Knitting's My Bag, first bag I ever bought after I saw a podcast, nothing. I've still got the yarn from my sport weight socks last week, so I just grabbed that. Nothing in there. I think I need to have a project in every bag actually. And I don't think there's anything in here. In my little Winnie the Pooh bag, Kiki Boo bag, I have a pair of 1 needles. I'm just going to take stock of what I've got actually. And I've cast on, I haven't touched these for quite a while. I cast on a tiny little toe up there. And here's one I already did, tiny little sock, just a plain vanilla, which I've shown recently, and a Fish Lips Kiss heel. And this is Dancing Dog Dye Works yarn. And it's not that label, and I think I've got the label downstairs, so I'm going to get better at putting the labels with it, or put them in my journal. And I'm trying to squeeze out a tiny little pair of ankle socks, because I've already made a pair of vanilla socks with this yarn. This is all I've got left. So if I run out, then the top of this sock is probably going to be something completely different. We'll see. But that's what's in that bag, and this is good for me because I totally forgot what's in each bag. And I do have a solution for that, which I'll talk about later. Then I do know what's in this one because I'm keeping this blanket so far, the pieces, to my log cabin blanket in Kia's winter bag. Kia from Bakery Bears sent me this one. I did find, I said I'd ran out of the Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn. I did find another ball that I'd opened, so I did start a 3rd square. And so that's sitting in there for when I want some easy knitting, but I haven't picked that up in a week or so. And I only have 2 squares done. So that's going to take me quite a while. I'm sorry, I think every time I show you something, I keep going a bit dark, the lighting. So that's in that big bag. Put that away. And I have 2 more. Actually, no, I've got 2 more down there. In this bag, I do have, and again, not knit on this for the past couple of weeks, I have my Hanging Leaves shawl, which you might have remembered. This is in the Botanical Knits book. I'll not go into the yarn details and stuff just yet, but that's for the leaves. This is plain knitting, so I can pick that up, but I just haven't because I was working on the new sweater cast on. So, pop that in there. So that's another thing I need to give some love to. And in my Fat Squirrel bag, this kind of matches what's in here. I have my iWee, as I call it, or as I've been told I think it's called, which is, oh look at this, it's getting all messy, which is this pattern from Barocco. And I started this many months ago now, so I really need to kind of give that some love. Maybe set a goal and do so much of that every week. Haven't done any of that. Then in here, I'll not take it out, but I've put in here my Avalon stole. Not had any love this week, and it's in here because my magnetic board fits in here, the Knit Picks for, you know, lace, to keep track of your lace charts. That fits in there, so I've kept that in there, and that's my Rainstorm Studios large bag. And this one is Rainstorm Studios, and this is what I showed you last week. Not touched it since then. And that was, just in case you didn't watch last week's podcast and you haven't got time to go back, I'd started the Leftover Cowl, which is actually a Wendy D. Johnson pattern. It's not Rowan. Somebody thought it was either Rowan or Payton's. It's Wendy D. Johnson, and it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. So I have that stuck in there with all of the Knit Picks palette I'm thinking of using. Yeah, Wendy D. Johnson. So that's in that. And I think, other than, which I never have close at hand, my pink breast cancer awareness shawl, which I refuse to pull out, but I just haven't picked up for the past year. That is in a bag downstairs. I never have it with me, and I haven't worked on it. But I do want to, so I'm just not going to frog that at all. All right, let's see. Get some tea before it goes cold. I will pop down and get the sweater, but I've written down here too, it looks like I've got a lot of whips, but I just feel in the mood to cast on something brand new. So I think I might have to pick something small, like a hat or something like that, to cast on. That will give me some instant gratification and have finished in a week or week and a half. I feel in the mood to do that. So let me go grab my sweater and we'll go into the knit along news. Alright, I'm back. And out of breath again because I ran down the stairs and back up again. And I forgot to say that my mug, my Mickey Mouse mug, was a gift from my friend Kimberly. And I like that it's not a huge one if I just want a small cup of tea, but the handle's big. It's nice to grab hold of, so enjoying this one. It is getting a little bit just warm. I have to keep heating up my coffees or tea. Oh, I should knit a little thing to keep it warm. What do you call them? Cozies. That's the name, I can't remember. Anyway, in my new sweater bag that I showed you last week, which I absolutely love, is the Lawrence sweater that we have started a knit along for, and I do not have coloured pictures of it, so I should get it up on my iPad. A lovely big cowl, and then lots of garter stitch with a pattern down the front and the back. And because I do not have, I need to learn this off by heart. I don't have the first page, so I don't know who the designer is. So I'm going to find out, because it would be nice to just see it. Orange sweater, okay. By Melissa Labarre. That's what I'm saying. Melissa Labarre. L-A and B-A-R-R-E. What is this doing? So, I've cast on that. It's a knit along, so we're moving into knit along news, and this is with Sarah Apple Blossom SF on Ravelry from the Apple Blossom and You podcast, and Matt, her husband, which I'm not going to guess, but I think it's something to do with Navy, his Ravelry name. I cast on last week. Look, I've got a bit to show you. I'm knitting, I've just decided to pick, and you can't even see, I mean, who sticks a label right across that? I'm casting on with Barocco Vintage. It's a worsted. Look, that's as much as I got done on my swatch. And I'm using a size 7. I think I've gone down a needle size. and here is what I have got so far. It starts at, I can get rid of, let me see if I can hold the yarn out of the way. It starts at the top. This is the cowl. And I have to tell you, so these are the two welts. This is called a welt, and here's the other one. And the welt is basically, it's, if you've ever done a picot edge, it's very similar to that. With a picot edge, you knit two together, yarn over so that you have holes. And then when you fold it over, you've got that little picot edge, as they call it, so I call it. This is the same thing, you just haven't made little holes, so it's just a straight fold over. Gives it a really nice look, but the only problem is, and I'm not pulling it out, and because it's at the back too, so I noticed it too late. The first edge I picked up, I'll show you it. When I round the back, look at it, it's not very, do you see this part here? Here, that's leaning. I've obviously not picked it up evenly over like that. It seemed, I think I've been picking the stitch up somewhere here, so it's give it that, it's leaning. But it's at the back, where I seem to be getting a seam, knitting in the round. And the second one does not have that anywhere. If it was at the front, I think I'd have to take it out and start again. But it's at the back. I don't know if I can get it on without pulling it over the needles. Probably can. Let's have a look. Oh no. Ooh, looks like a hat. I can, but I don't want, no I can't. I don't want it to fall off the needles. Never mind. But it's gonna kind of, I think it has some more welts before I'm confused now when I look at this pattern. Oh, I think yeah, it's folded. I think it might be folded down. I've just realised that this has got a lot of garter stitch here, mine doesn't, but I think she's folded it down. I think that's what's happening. So far, it's just, I do like garter stitch. Excuse me. Hold on. Oh. I do like garter stitch. I like the yarn. I do like Barocco's vintage. Excuse me, guys. It's nice and soft to knit with. I like the needles. But it seemed to be growing very, very slowly. And I had to join in yarn, and it's on the right side, so I'm going to have to get a needle and put that through, because the end of this was joined. I had to cut it. This was joined, can you see? And this part is like really thick, like there was a knot, but it's like really solid. And after I knit around, I could see it wouldn't pull through naturally, and it was leaving a gap. There was like a hole in the garter stitch. So I had to go back a couple of rows once I'd realised, and I had to cut that and join wherever it's gone, and join again. But it just so happened that I was doing, seemed to be on the right side. I was purling, I think. But I'll fix that. It's just, it was growing very slowly, so I didn't have one of those doohickeys in at close hand, so I've used a needle. This is from one day I was there and I knit here. And seriously, if I hadn't have put that there, I wouldn't have realised I'd done that much. So I'm going to move that up once I do some today. I don't think I knit on this yesterday. I was knitting on the socks. There's a thread in the Ravelry group for chatter and finished objects. It's just going to be one thread. And I know there's a couple of pictures in there already, the ones that have been started. I haven't got any prizes determined yet, and this CAL is till the end of February. And that's really all there is to say about that, I think. I'm not sure if I've put this further down, but when I mentioned that I forgot what's in the bags, and last week in Shop News, I could have left this to Shop News, but I'm going to say it now. For the Etsy store, I haven't felt like going down into my craft room and sewing. I just haven't felt like it this week. I'm wanting to get organised, and you know, Monday I did this whole bedroom and kind of decluttered the closet and things like that. So I will try to get down there soon, because I know I do owe a couple of people a couple of bags, the last 2 months' winners. But one thing I did try this week, and I've put it on here just to try, it's not what's in the bag, but I did mention trying to do bags with, instead of, you know, your name, I was going to do some wedge bags, and my idea was to do wedge bags that said toy or shawl or socks, you know, so that I know what's in that bag. But I thought not everyone wants a brand new bag with that on, so I thought maybe tags would work. And I tried to do a little sample. It was a bit rushed, but I have a little tag in the corner there. It's not exactly the same, so this is just for me. I will use this when I've cast on a toy. But I had it dangling on this bag. And my intention is to do tags that say a shawl, toy, socks. I'm not sure about sweater, it might be a little long, the word might be long, so I don't know. I could still do sweater, make that small and make it maybe narrower. But I like the idea of tags, so I would be able to see what's in the bags. I have bags all around me now. So I did try that this week, but didn't really get any bags sewn. And that brings us into show and tell. And the only thing, oh, I have a couple of things to chat about. Sorry. I kept forgetting to bring the yarn I was gifted. One of the yarns I was gifted over Christmas, but I did bring it this week. And it was kept, excuse me guys. I have some, I'm going to have to pause. Whatever that was, catching in my throat, the tea wasn't helping, so I just had a drink of water there. I wanted to show you my Countess of Blaze. I've never heard of this dyer, hand-dyed and hand-painted yarns. I think she's in England, because James from the Dancing Geek podcast has mentioned her a lot. And I think maybe this is the colourway. It says never mind. Or, I don't know what that means, never mind, and this says the Soft Baroness, so I don't know which one's the colourway. Soft Baroness, and it is 100% superwash merino wool. 400, that's metres, 100 grams, 400 metres, fingering weight. So I think the colours are looking kind of true to colour, except just bright. I mean, this is a what would you call that, royal blue? It's a very bright blue, and then the bright yellow, and then it turns into green. So that'd be interesting. I don't know what it's going to knit up like, but I think some kind of shawl or cowl, long cowl. I'd be interested to see how it knits up. So thank you to my friend who sent me that at Christmas. It thrilled me, made me smile big time. The other show and tell, and this is a little idea I thought of. Remember this book? I've showed it before, and I don't know if it was last year or the year before even. It was a very long time ago now, and I showed it because I loved it and I loved everything in it. And I showed you all these lovely, let's see where the pictures are. Can't find them now. I think they're at the beginning of the book. I showed you all these lovely winter scenes with the patterns, different shades of yarn. There's beige, there's grey, there's the very creamy Actually, I think that was the beige. What else is the other colour? Is that the beige? Like an oatmeal-y colour. Grey. Oh, hold on a minute. Natural white, that's the creamy colour. Nope, I'm showing you the wrong picture. Hold on. This is the natural white kind of colour. Well, I haven't knit anything out of this book and I absolutely loved it, and I loved the patterns. Even, I mean, look at that, it's a really nice vest, as you call it. We would say, I think we would kind of see a tank top with that. But I call it a vest here, sleeveless sweater, lovely cables. And, oh goodness, something's catching in my throat. My idea was, I think I need to think about knitting something out of, I'm just flicking through to see if I can find some nice pictures. Some things are quite large, you know, like a large top. I think I need to pick something out of my knitting books, because I do have quite a few that I've never knitted a thing out of. And obviously I buy them for a reason. I've bought them because I like some at least one pattern in a book. So I think I should try, I'm not saying this is going to happen or work, I should try to knit a pattern once a month, pick a book that's on my shelf and knit a pattern. Now, a lot of the time it might be one of the smallest patterns in the book. I don't want to take on something too large and then get bored with it. But this has got accessories in it. This has got hand warmers and gloves and boot cuffs, I think, you know, like the boot cuffs, hats. I think this is going to be first on my list. I think I'm going to try and pick something from this. And so there's a nice little set. There's even socks, but that would take a while. And pick something. And even if it's just one pattern out of a book, at least I feel like it justified buying it in the first place. So that is an idea I've had. I mean, seriously, how many books do you have that you've never knit anything from? I'm sure I'm not the only one. That's got quite a few. And I can definitely pick 12 off my shelf for the next year, one a month, that I can knit from. I know I can. So we'll see. I've made a note and we'll see if anything transpires by next week. With that, moving into, had a quick book talk, but there's not really anything new. I think I showed you this. I haven't picked it up yet. I did finish The Light Between Oceans, which was a book club read for my neighbourhood last week. I finished that. It was a fabulous book, and I would say Susan sent me a message, hi Susan, and said that The Light Between Oceans is being made into a movie. In fact, I think it's already finished being made. Might be in the final stages. And I think it's filmed in New Zealand, which is where it takes place, or Australia. Can't remember exactly. But Susan mentioned that it's been made into a movie, and I did actually remember someone saying in book club that it was going to be made into a movie, but that's all they said. So I forgot about that, otherwise I would have mentioned it when I talked about the book. And I think whoever mentioned it in book club didn't know it was already in the process. I think they just said they're thinking of making a movie. So that'll be interesting. I would definitely watch that if it come out. I do want to start this, and I don't even know what it's about, to be honest. I've heard it's good. It weaves the sweetness of newfound love with the heartache of past mistakes. And in Victorian times. I don't know if it's set in Victorian times. I'll have to go into that a little bit more when I've started it. So, that's all in book club. Book talk this week, not book club. Not really going to go into the kitchen. although I've been in the kitchen a lot this week, but I've not got anything to chat about. What I am going to talk about, which is some of the food, is going to be in Girly Chatter. And before Girly Chatter, I'm going to talk a little bit about goals. It's not a new section, it's just something I want to mention, although I might try to talk about it each week. Zena from the Little Yellow Uke podcast has started setting herself some goals regarding her knitting, and the following podcast she'll let you know, if she's achieved those goals or what she did. So I'm not going to set goals regarding knitting. I have no idea what I'll get a chance to knit on, and I've not got any deadlines. I'm not knitting anything right now that has to be finished. So I'm enjoying the fact that it doesn't matter what I pick up. Right now it's either all for me or it will go in a gift basket. So goals are not going to be based on the knitting. What I do want to set a goal for is, I mentioned I want to get my stash put in my Ravelry page. And I think I need to set a goal, because I did nothing last week either. I'm going to set a goal and say, next time I podcast, I will have entered into my Ravelry page at least 5 skeins of yarn. And when I say 5 skeins, I do not mean 5 of the same yarn. So, for instance, I have this still in the bag from the local yarn store, and I've got 5 skeins. That does not mean I only list this. That is one. That counts as one, because I only have to take one picture, obviously, of all of it, and then list it. And I originally got this for the Lawrence sweater, but I realised I wasn't going to have enough. So that is something else I can find. I'll list it, and then perhaps if I think about it, I should look for any ideas that I can knit something with 5 skeins of this yarn. So, not only am I going to say I should list at least 5, I'm going to show you them. And then next week I'll tell you if I did it. That's definitely got to be motivation for me, if I've got you at the back of my mind, to say, I need to show you that I did it. So that's one. Put that there. I also have, this is not listed, it's going to be one of them. In fact, I think I've already taken a picture of it, but I did not put it in Ravelry. That's one, so there's 2. I'm going to list these 2. I'm going to count them as one each, because they're 2 different colours. I want 2 different listings for them. I think you do that, don't you? I would like to, anyway, at least. So this is just, it's loops and threads. I got it in Michael's, I think. And it's fingering weight, which I generally don't see much. I would like more in here. It's acrylic, and it's fingering weight. And I bought these 2 colours to knit the little mouse, the Christmas mouse. That would be nice to get on the needles soon as well. I was gifted that pattern. I don't know who it's by. I'll make a note when I, cast on. But there's 4. And the 5th one is another bag. I still have all the yarn in that I just recently got from the yarn store, with the thought of this being for the Lawrence sweater. And this was Barocco's Modern Cotton. And then I changed my mind. I was like, I do not want this sweater in this violet purpley colour. I like the colour, but I think it's very much springtimey, and it's cotton. I have, I think I might have 6 of these. Geez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there, I'm going to list them. That's 6 of those, and I should try and perhaps find a pattern for that. So that is a goal I'm setting myself this week. And with that, let's move into Girly Chatter. And I probably haven't inserted the little picture either. Girly Chatter. A couple of things. I'll start off with a kind of food book thing. I think I showed this last week and the other vegan book, and I've chatted about I'll try to cut out meat. Cutting out meat is easy. I don't think I've eaten anything with meat in it this week. I would like, another idea is to actually start writing down what I've eaten. I think I need another new diary, not just a knitting one. I'd like to make a note of what I've eaten each day, what meal I made, you know, whether it was, and salads. I mean, I'm having a lot of salads lately, which I'm enjoying, and we're having juice every day, which I love. But I just want to list a food diary, say like, what did I eat today, so that I could look at it, and if I'm eating dairy, because we still have some in the house, so I've got the organic milk, I have some cheese still, it's not organic, but some of the things that I'm making, you know, for the family has the dairy in it, or the cheese, or it's got the butter. I just want to make a note and see like, where can I, how much dairy am I using, and can I kind of cut it out more than I actually have. So the reason I'm showing you this book, there is lots of interesting meals, and I didn't make a note of where it was, but this may be in the What's in the Kitchen next week, because I want to give it a try, and then I can't find it, so excuse me for just not looking at you right now. I may have to go to, it is an entree, so it should be coming up. Here it is. I want to give this a try this week. So it might be in the What's in the Kitchen section next week. And it's called Sweet Potato and Black Bean Enchiladas with Avocado Cilantro Cream Sauce. And I think that just looks really tasty. And so I'd like to follow the recipe exactly, and also make the avocado cilantro cream sauce. Now cilantro in England is still, it's called coriander. It's the green, it looks like parsley, different kind of shaped leaf. The fresh stuff, it looks like parsley. We only say coriander here when it's the seeds from the cilantro. The coriander seeds and the ground coriander that come in the spice bottles. We don't call this bunch of fresh greens coriander. It's a little bit confusing sometimes, but it's cilantro. I use it in salsa and a few other things. I really love it. Some people don't like the taste as much. So I want to try and make that, and I'll need to get a few things to do that. So it might be like a weekend meal, I don't know. And this is a library book, but I really do like it. There's lots of things in it I want to go through and consider making, just to have an idea of what things taste like. Not the guacamole, I'm into appetizers now. So like soups, Summer Harvest Tortilla Soup. I like soups. And even though it says summer, I don't know if it's cold, but usually soups I like in the fall. Now, one of the pictures here is a burger, but I've been buying the Morningstar veggie burgers and stuff, which I really like, on a whole wheat bun. I have not got to the point where I'm looking at every single ingredient to see whether there's any milk or something in, like the breads and stuff. So not 100% vegan, but as I said, definitely I want to just see how I get on with not having meat in my system, and trying some different, you know, recipes that I would never think to try. Okay, so the other thing, girly chatter. It's the new year, and I always like to try and get organised, and I think I try to get organised throughout the whole year, but January is always a good, you know, time to like reinforce all of that. And what I wanted to show you this week, show you right now, I went down to, excuse me, the dollar store. And I've seen lots of things online. I do like to search. That was the phone going. And I don't even recognise the number, so I didn't pick it up. I hope they don't call back. So I bought baskets at the dollar store. I mean, you can't beat $1 a basket. And here, for example, is one that's going to go in my pantry. I'm going to start there first, I think. And it's got, look, all the teas. And it's got the one I just showed you, my lemony zinger. It's got a box that's open with some. The lemon zinger is not individual tea bags, like, you know, like my favourite. So it has to stay closed. And I have, some of them I'm not too keen on. I mean, this sounds nice, but it was okay, but it's just not, I just find some teas not very strong. But anyway, that's one basket, and I got about 5 of these ones, this size. And then I got 2, I got 3 total. I got some like this, $1, seriously, there's 2 here. I love these ones, alright. And these are not going to go in my pantry just yet. These are going, and I'll show you, because I've got one over here. And here's one I made earlier. These are going with my skeins of yarn. Probably not my Indie Dyer skeins. I think I'm going to put them in a different box. But my acrylic yarn and the stuff that I've got lying around, I've just put these in as a sample. I'm going to put these in here, and I think once I get some cupboards up in the craft room, they're going to go on the top. I may cover them with a cloth or a small piece of fabric so that they don't get like full of dust. But that's $1, and I just love that shape. It's really fun. So they'll be the craft room, and then just quickly, I've got all of these. I didn't know what I needed for the pantry, so I picked up different shapes. There's 2 here, and this is more like a deep square. I thought maybe packet mixes, you know, that you can sit in there and you can flick through and see what they are. Got those. I got this shape, not sure what will go in yet. I've got 2 of these. What I think I'm going to do as well, if it's not just a before and after picture, I might even take a bit of video to show the pantry beforehand and then how it's looking. I want to, you know, get baskets in, and I want to use my mason jars for stuff as well. So here's another 4 of these baskets, which I know is a good size. And then I got 2 of this larger size, and they're flat. Don't know if it's going to be in the pantry or in the craft room. I'm not sure, but I just think it's a great price. Some dollar store, I got them from the dollar store. No, yeah, and it's called the Dollar Tree. Other areas have different kinds of dollar stores, and they might have different what's the word? Designs, I guess, different shapes, baskets, different colours and things like that. But that is another goal. I'm hoping to make one of the things I do this week is clear out the pantry and reorganise and see what I can get in these baskets and see how many more I might need. So I don't know, many of you might be already doing that, getting organised. Oh, and the other thing I didn't bring up, you know the trays that you put your knives and forks and spoons in? You can get them in the dollar store, and I've got one in my bathroom that is, you know, my drawer where my toothpaste is and toothbrush and things like that. They're great for that, so I picked a couple of them up, and I might do some drawers out. I do have larger drawer organisers downstairs, but they're such a mess that they all really need emptying and redoing. But I didn't need to buy the dividers and the, you know, the cutlery tray for those drawers, because I've kind of got proper large drawer organisers. But a few little goals there, and I think with that said, it's brought us to the end of the show. I kind of feel like I've really waffled on. but that's all right. And I think I've covered everything. I don't know if I keep forgetting to mention or if I've mentioned it once, but I am going to the Sock Bunnies second annual retreat. Now that I've said it, I'm sure I've already said it once, but that's coming up really, really soon, beginning of February. So I'm super excited. I'm glad Kimberly set this again for February. Last year, the very first one she did, the weather wasn't all that great, and it's usually a lot warmer there, you know, even though it was February. But it was overcast for at least 3 of the days. It was a little colder, in the 60s, I think, and there was rain. It was a bit damp. And so I think she originally said she might do it later in the year, but she didn't. And she set it again for the same weekend. But I'm so glad she did. I think she's getting warmer weather right now. And to be honest, I don't care if it's cold or if it's wet. It doesn't matter. I mean, most of the time we're all sitting around a table knitting. So I can't wait. And yeah, even if the weather's not great, I'm so glad it's this early, because I just, after all the Christmas rush and, you know, then the January month where I want to just get so much accomplished and get organised and everything, I think I deserve a nice relaxing break at the beginning of February. So if you're going, I'm sure, and I know Kimberly's got a thread in her Ravelry group, the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit podcast. So if you're going, get over there and let me know. And I will hope to see you there if you're going to make it. And I hope you all have a fabulous week. This is the end of my chatty chat show this week. And I hope you come back next week and join me in the knitting den. Bye guys.